Wait, are you gaming? On a Chromebook?
Yep. It's got a high-res 120Hz display, plus this killer RGB keyboard. And I can access thousands of games anytime, anywhere.
Stop playing.
What?
Get out of here.
Huh?
Yeah, I want you to stop playing and get out of here so I can game on that Chromebook.
Got it.
Discover the ultimate cloud gaming machine, a new kind of Chromebook.
I'm Dana Perino. Join me for my brand new podcast, Perino on Politics. As we analyze the 2024 election cycle, make sure you subscribe to this series on foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you download podcasts, and leave me a rating and review.
Welcome to the Mysteries of the Paranormal. I'm your host, Allison. Here, I'll talk all about mythology, folklore, and cryptids. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Mysteries of the Paranormal. Today, we're going to be talking about trolls. A troll is a being in Nordic folklore and in Old Norse sources, being described as trolls that dwell in isolated areas of rocks, mountains, or even caves. They typically live together in small family units and are rarely helpful to human beings. In later Scandinavian folklore, trolls become beings in their own right, where they live far from human habitation, are not Christianized, and are considered dangerous to human beings. Depending on the source, their appearance varies greatly. Trolls may be ugly and slow-witted, or look and behave exactly like human beings, with no particularly characteristics with or about them. Trolls are sometimes associated with particular landmarks in Scandinavian folklore, which at times may explain as formed from a troll exposed to sunlight. Trolls are depicted in a variety of media and modern popular culture, and numerous tales that are recorded about trolls, in which they are frequently described as being extremely old, very strong, but slow, and as mentioned before, dim-witted, and are at times described as man-eaters and as turned to stone upon contact with sunlight. However, trolls are also attested as looking much as human beings without particular hideous appearance about them, but living far from human habitation is mentioned earlier. According to John Lindow, what sets apart them is that they are not Christian, and those who encounter them do not know them. Therefore, trolls were in the end dangerous, regardless of how well they might get along with Christian society, and trolls display a habit of overrunning a farm or an estate. A Scandinavian folklore belief that lightning frightens away trolls and appears in numerous Scandinavian folktales and might be a late reflection of God Thor's role fighting such beings. In connection, the lack of trolls in modern Scandinavian is sometimes explained as a result of the accuracy and efficiency of the lightning strokes. Additionally, the absence of trolls in regions of Scandinavia is described in folklore as being a consequence of the constant din of the church bells. The ringing caused the trolls to leave for other lands, although not without some resistance. Numerous traditions relate how trolls destroyed a church under construction or hurled boulders and stones at completed churches. Large local stones are sometimes described as the product of a troll's toss. Additionally, into the 20th century, the origins of particular Scandinavian landmarks, such as particular stones, are ascribed to trolls who may, for example, have turned into stone upon exposure to sunlight. Lindow compares the trolls of the Swedish folk tradition to Grendel, the supernatural mead hall invader in the old poem Beowulf, and notes that just as the poem Beowulf emphasizes not the harrying of Grendel, but the cleansing of the hall of Beowulf, so the modern tales stress the moment when the trolls are driven off. Smaller trolls are attested as living in burial mounds and in mountains in Scandinavian folk tradition. In Denmark, these creatures are recorded as troll folk, mountain trolls, or mountain folk, and in Norway also as troll folk. Trolls may be described as small human-like beings or as tall men, depending on the region of origin of the story. Well, if you have heard anything about these, again, feel free to let me know. I am here for it. I'm here for learning more, learning if I got anything wrong. So if you have heard folk tale stories about this please email me at themysteriesoftheparanormal@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you. And until then, see you next time. You can find this podcast at The Mysteries of the Paranormal on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Be sure to tune in every week for a brand new episode, wherever you get your podcast or at roguemedianetwork.com.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.